For spotting and teaching the back handspring. The back handspring, in my opinion, is really that first big skill, right? That first skill where you know, the average person sees it and they're like, wow, you know, this is the first milestone in gymnastics. It's a lot like, say, your pullover on bars, your first front handspring on vault, your first big major skill. So what we're going to do is have her demonstrate the progressions of how we teach this. The first thing that I do, aside from having the kids do headstands and handstands to build their arm strength, when they're actually ready to start flipping, is I have them do this box drill. So when they do the box drill, I'm going to have them lay down. They're going to put their arms up by their ears, just like this. You can come over. The most important thing is for her to keep her elbows straight, to stay off of her head and keep her legs together. She's going to bring her feet to the floor. Go ahead. And arms up. Good, so we'll try that again so you guys can get a good view of this thing. So she's just gonna sit on top of the box and place her legs in front. She'll work her way back and stop. Stay just like that. Guys, one of the really important things is that the kid work their way back themselves, right? That fear of going backwards is something they have to get used to. And as simple and as small as that seems, just being able to go back by themselves and put their hands on the floor is a major, major step. It's a small nuance, but when you start working with kids at that preschool level, that beginner level, and you ask them to do this, you'll see that trepidation and that fear. And having them do this is essential to them being able to do their back handspring by themselves. So very important, just a small point. So again, she's gonna bring her legs over, and arms up. So this would be the first drill to really get them started on that back handspring, okay? Now this obviously is assuming that they already have their backward roll, they're already able to support themselves in their headstand, their handstand, and their bridge. So I'm assuming that before we even get to this point, that's already been introduced, that's already been pretty much mastered, quote unquote, right? So now we're gonna go over to the barrel, all right? This would be the second step in the process, all right? So now she's at the barrel. The first drill I have them do on the barrel is lay down on their back with their legs straight in front, keeping their feet together. She's gonna do a 3 count. On each portion of the 3 count, she's gonna rock forward and back. Each part of the 3 count, 1, 2, 3, she's gonna do a little bit more of an aggressive push. On 3, she'll actually push herself over, supporting herself on her arms with straight arms, putting her hands down, and then going to her feet. So she'll go 1, 2, 3, 1, and 2, and 3. She'll push through, and arms up. Good. She'll try that again. Stay over there, please. Good, good. So she'll go on her back, arms are up, legs are straight, and 1, and 2, and 3, and push. Good. Arms up. And again, very important for the kids to get to a point where they're able to maintain that shape and go through those positions themselves, right? Once they're able to do that, we move on to step 2 of this part. So she'll stand in front. Now she's going to add the arm swing. She'll start with her arms up. She's going to swing her arms down and then jump through the 3rd position, landing on her hands and her feet. Ready? 1, 2, 3, swing, jump. And good. Arms up. We'll try it again. This time when you jump to your back, try and bring your feet up a little bit quicker. Bigger jump. Arms are up and jump. Feet over. Excellent, good. What we're going to do right now is we're going to pause, and then we're going to go over to the spotting belt, and then we'll do the back handspring and the spotting belt. That'll be the 3rd part of this progression. All right, guys, so listen, obviously at our facility, we're at a great advantage. We have spotting belts all throughout the gym, and although this is actually located at the rings, if you use a wedge, we can use it for tumbling, okay? Now, one of the big mistakes that I see at every level when it comes to teaching back handsprings, especially with older athletes or larger athletes or athletes who have no gymnastics experience is that coaches tend to want to spot the athlete through the skill. Now I understand where that comes from. A large part of that is taking the athlete through the skill so they get a feeling of what it's like to actually do the flip. I get that. And what you're thinking is 100% accurate, right? But the issue is that you tend to do a lot of the work, and God, listen, you can't go through coaching over the years and put that much strain on your body and your back. It also is detrimental to the athlete because they're not necessarily getting a good feel for what it is that they are supposed to be doing in the skill. The first two drills that we did, on the box, on the barrel, the athlete is going through the skill. They're teaching themselves. They're learning themselves what it feels like to do the mechanics of that skill. That is so important to their overall development. So step 3 in this phase is to use the spotting belt. I also use a cheese wedge because it puts the athlete at an angle so that when they're actually flipping over, they're going downhill. Natural momentum is key here. So I have them belted in. You guys can see this here. I have her already belted in. She's gonna put her arms up and she's gonna go through the same 1, 2, 3 progression. 1, 2, 3 being the jump. When she jumps on 3, her feet are gonna point directly in front of her, and having this slant on the cheese wedge, that natural momentum will help her do the back handspring, okay? All I have to do is pull the slack out of the rope here and go with her on that 3 count, give her a very gentle pull, she'll flip right over. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Good, okay? So we're talking something as simple as that. That much effort to help her get over on that back handspring. You're not putting all this pressure on your back. You're not risking dropping this athlete and causing her to damage herself or hurt herself. You're not putting yourself in a situation where you're getting hurt. This is the safest, most effective way for an athlete to get tons of reps in, okay? So again, she'll put her arms up. I'm gonna let her go at her own pace. We're gonna knock out 5 of these. I want you to see how little effort it's taking her, how little effort it's taking me. 5 back handsprings. Ready? Go. Okay, that's 1. 2, keep those feet together. 3, good. Bring your legs over a little faster. 4, and 1 more. Get those legs over nice and quick. 5, outstanding. So that's step 3. From here, we're gonna go over to the trampoline. We'll pause. All right, guys, step 4 in this progression, all right? I'm gonna actually do this in 2 parts, all right? The first part, I'm gonna actually start by hand spotting her. So she'll have her arms up, just turn sideways, all right? And I'll actually start by hand spotting her. So now, there we go. So now we're at that point where I feel it's okay to actually hand spot, okay? Instead of starting in this position, we've done 3 progressionary steps, some with 2 parts to each step. Now the athlete is ready for you to hand spot. This is where you put hands on the athlete, okay? So what I'm gonna have her do is stand here. We're using the trampoline, right? The trampoline is gonna give a little bit of assistance as she jumps back. She already has the 3 count. My hands are on her back. We'll go 1, 2, 3 feet up. 1, 2, 3 feet up. Good. Much less effort because she has the mechanics of the back handspring. This is when you step in and you hand spot. We'll try that one more time. Feet together. Ready? 1, 2, 3 feet up. Awesome. And then from this point, now I can back off. I can let her go through that. I can now put my hand in as she jumps, okay? So arms up, feet together. Ready? 1, 2, 3, jump. Good. And again. Feet together. Ready? 1, 2, 3, jump. Good. As she builds up her confidence, I can slowly step away, back off, let her work her back handspring at this point until she's 100% confident. And then the easiest thing to do from here is just to add matting. Add a panel mat, add a 4-incher, add an 8-incher. Get her more comfortable on a more solid surface with less assistance from the trampoline. When she's at that point, I can move her to the tumble track, onto the wedge, and then eventually onto the floor. That, to me, in my opinion, with my experience, is the most efficient and the most logical way to sequentially teach the back handspring. If you do it that way, you'll really reduce mental problems, mental blocks, and obviously injuries, which we want to avoid. Okay, so thanks a lot. Practice and repeat.